Hi, I'm Kelly and this is my organic garden. Welcome to it. We've been here in Houston for over 3 years making an organic garden in the back of my mother's house. It keeps expanding and getting bigger and bigger. We're going to show you today, give you a little tour of what's happening. I'll start here. This is a bed that has some Swiss chard that's over 2 years old, and we keep getting lots of production from here. Some dinosaur kale that's been there since the winter, some celery that's been reseeding, and also an older collard from here. We have some wild violets that are in there just using as fodder. The next bed we just created about 2 months ago. These are potatoes, and we have 3 varieties of heirloom potatoes here. And we're very excited about them. You can't find these in stores. They're purple, yellow, and red potatoes. Let's go on over here. In this bed we have 150 yellow onion and 75 red onion. We also have some mustard here that's going to seed that's starting to run out of season. It was a winter plant. And down below we have some Hiromi cucumber, as in a Cambodian cucumber. We grew those from seed in pots, and now we just planted them today. They're going to grow up this wire here. And they're just like a regular cucumber, but much larger and yellow. The taste is the same as a cucumber. If you follow me over to the other side, you can see our garden across here. Here's another side. We have this arugula that's starting to fade out. That's why it's blooming now. They call it bolting. We're going to have to plant some more soon. Over here are purple TP heirloom beans. We've had these long beans for many months. They were very productive, but starting to go out. Their season's starting to end. In the back you see volunteer asparagus, and that's been there about 3 years, but we aren't going to get any asparagus because it's a female-only plant. You need a male that has the asparagus. Then we have some other eggplant that we planted back there, along with tomatoes from last year and this year. The ones from last year are already producing. These are all heirloom tomatoes. In the bottom is something called shiso. It's like a Japanese basil. And this shiso reseeded from last year. It's very nice to eat in salads. Next to it we have more red onion, and at the bottom here this is a row of garlic. These were all made from one bulb of garlic that we got at the supermarket. Get an organic garlic for $2.50, divide it up, plant them, wait about 6 months, and you have all this garlic. So it's not the quickest thing to make. Let's go over here. If you look here, we have Joy Troy and Bok Choy. We're letting them go to seed now. It's starting to be a little off of their season, but we can still cut them and they'll come back. Wild celery here, we planted it by seed, but the celery was really nice last year, and now it's grown out of control this year. These collards have been here for over 2 years, still very productive. So if you come along here, and you can see all of this, yeah, see what it looks like. We have another bed here of Japanese turnips, and these are white turnips, very tasty, not as bitter as American turnips. In the back we have beets, different variety organic beets, very productive for us. They're in many colored bulbs, yellow, purple, white, red. Some celery, some Japanese eggplant here, the longer purple variety. We're trying to grow some wild berries here along this wire, as well as Goya, which you see we planted about 3 weeks ago. It's also called bitter melon. It's native of Okinawa. We're going to have it grow up this vine. And here we have a bed in the back of wild strawberry with some sorrel behind it. The wild strawberries there just as a fodder to keep that bed productive and very concentrated in minerals. Here we have pepper and tomato bed. These are just planted in the last month. As you notice, the peppers are being very productive, and we still have some carrots before. You see here the carrot in my hand. I pulled it up a few minutes ago. It's an Atomic Red Carrot Heirloom. You can't buy it at the store. And I'm going to pull up another one now. Let's see.
Maybe this one.
Let's see. Let me get in here. We have to get these out of the way for our peppers and tomatoes. Yeah. So, as you see, not as large as a regular carrot, but organic, very nice. You can eat the leaves too, so don't let people make you throw the leaves away. Carrot leaves are very delicious, and you can enjoy them. This was originally an herb bed, but this rosemary took over. It's been here for 3 years. It was originally a small starter. As you see, it took over. Amazing plant. If we go over behind here, we have raspberry and blackberry vines growing along this wire, this fence, and we have broccoli that's going to seed now. It's a winter plant here in Texas. We have peppers that are 2 years old. They're still producing. That's why we're keeping them, even though they're looking kind of ratty. And if you come over here, you'll see this Thai pepper here is 2 years old, but they're still producing dozens of Thai peppers here. So we're keeping it alive. Another asparagus in the back there. Let's go on and look at the first 2 beds here. And you can get a good look here from our whole garden as it looks. Before we go to the first 2 beds, something I'd like to show you is the grapevine here. It's a wild Texan grape called a Muscadine. It's a purple grape. I had it trained from one side of the house for the last 3 years all the way across this fence. It wasn't here 3 years ago. So I've been doing lots of work on training these grapevines. They produce in end of May, beginning of June. Our original bed. It looks kind of ratty now, but that's because so many things have reseeded in it. You see all this cilantro is reseeded. Wild blackberries have grown in here. These collard greens have been here for over 2 years. They're kind of taking over as well. I'm going to pull up some of them and put them onto the ground. A few other herbs in the back here. These are artichokes. We have 2 different varieties. They've been here for over 3 years. They die back in the fall, but then they come back and they get really tall and have beautiful flowers on them before they turn to the artichoke you can eat. Right? And next we have leeks. Some sweet potato vine that is not edible, so we've read, but some people say you can eat the greens, not the tuber. In front we have Swiss chard, different varieties. We planted this last winter, and they've been producing quite well. Another volunteer asparagus that we got in the plant. And finally over here, come here Coco, come here. Come here. Yeah, this is our dog, Coco. Yeah, you see something? Here we have mustard. And the mustard's starting to peter out. Like I said, it's usually a winter plant, but we're letting it go to seed now. And we have some kale called purple Siberian or red Siberian kale. It's ruffly, not like the dinosaur kale. So that concludes our tour, and we use lots of compost on our tour that we keep here in the compost bin. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you can see it in person someday, and here's to organic gardening.